Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in Saudi Arabia as diplomats push for a ceasefire in Gaza. And cleanup is underway after a series of deadly tornadoes swept across the Central Plains. Good morning. I'm Windsor Johnston with NPR News, and here are today's top stories. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in Saudi Arabia as diplomats ramp up efforts to reach a ceasefire in Gaza. NPR's Michelle Kellerman reports on Blinken's visit to Riyadh.
The humanitarian crisis in Gaza tops the agenda for Blinken, who tells Arab officials in Riyadh that there's been some progress in recent weeks in getting more aid in.
All of this is going to be a focus of the next few days for me as I travel on to Jordan and Israel. I'll have a chance to meet with humanitarian groups, with the Israeli government, to hear from them.
DevEx and other news organizations have reported on a confidential finding by U.S. aid officials that Israel is not complying with international humanitarian law in Gaza as required to receive U.S. military aid. Israel had written to the U.S. that it is complying. Michelle Kellerman, NPR News, Tel Aviv.
Palestinian health officials say airstrikes carried out by Israel have killed at least 22 people in the southern Gaza city of Rafah, including 5 children. The Israeli military is considering a ground invasion of the city where many Palestinians have been seeking refuge. Protests against the war in Gaza are set to continue on college campuses across the United States this week. NPR's Bryan reports students are turning up the pressure on schools to cut ties with businesses operating in Israel.
This is really coast to coast now. Over the weekend, on Friday, we saw police move in to break up an encampment at Arizona State University. Saturday, dozens more students arrested at Washington University in St. Louis. And yesterday, at UCLA's campus in Los Angeles, pro-Palestinian activists scuffled with pro-Israeli demonstrators.
NPR's Bryan reporting. Cleanup operations are underway after a series of powerful tornadoes ripped through the Central Plains over the weekend. Lionel Ramos from member station KOSU reports at least 4 people were killed in Oklahoma.
The deadly tornadoes ripped through central Oklahoma, leaving destruction behind. Some 80 miles south of Oklahoma City, the city of Sulphur saw its downtown largely leveled. Here's Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt at a news conference there.
We've got early reports. They think this is an F4, just kind of blowing right through downtown here. And I just haven't seen this much destruction.
Tens of thousands of people lost power across the state as homes and businesses were destroyed. Governor Kevin Stitt has declared a state of emergency in a dozen counties as FEMA mobilizes to aid in recovery efforts. For NPR News, I'm Lionel Ramos in Oklahoma City.
This is NPR.